Back in Snow, Utah, and there is none. Everything's so far out of whack, it's unbelievable. Cyclone bomb. Oh God, ski roads up. What are they ski on? Well, we're gonna make snow. It'll melt. I mean, it's all artificial. It's all manufactured. Yeah, it's the 20th of November, and they're gonna have to mow lawns. We've been mowing. It's unbelievable. It's a freak show. So I want to get back to the COVID thesis and these fake PhDs. This model that you can start school and just go to school for 10 years and have a PhD with no field work. That's not a traditional PhD, and that's what it's turned into. They hand them out like toilet paper to people, these anal A students. I was a pass-fail guy. We know the C students are the most successful, but I mean, we have curriculum now that you have to have a B to graduate. I mean, it's insane. So what, and that's been going on for 30 years, so what are we stuck with? Ain't no retentive, freaking, no dynamics, no creativity, people running the country. So no, I mean, Snow, Utah, we're in denial here. What's the matter with you? So I want to get back to the Mink thesis. We've been talking a lot about this lately, and no, this is not a mink dink necklace. This is made by the Megan Rice nuns. Remember the tree right there I named Megan Rice, and it blew down in the hurricane. Yeah, we had a hurricane here. Well, hurricane winds, and it was for real. 120 miles an hour. A tornado hit right here too. Blew the windows out of my car. So, the mink is the link. Why? To COVID. Fukushima, Fukushima, Fukushima. It's called fish meal. So they feed mink. Now stay with me. Something rotten in the new Denmark. So Denmark had a major outbreak of COVID in the mink, and they had to call them, they had to bury them under the ground. They didn't bury them far enough. You know, if you've seen the Chernobyl documentary, that's very real when they, you know, they have to dump concrete on the dead bodies. I mean, radioactive forever. I mean, just the fact that you take X amount of real estate out of the equation. Ukraine, you can never habitat it. You can never go back. Oh, animals are thriving at food. No, they're not. I mean, without humans there, you get a certain species, but, you know, the wolves in Chernobyl, but the fish in the lake, in the fake lake, are sterile, the catfish. So they don't reproduce. So there's no predators. And so, I mean, they'll live to be a couple hundred years old, and they're gigantic. I mean, hundreds of pounds. It's like the boars. You know, it throws the ecosystem so far out of whack. The wolves, well, they're the key. Always have been. So that's the native cultures. We won't listen to them. They just been here for 18,000 years, that's all. So the mink. So, minks are native here. Mink are native here. But they farm them here, yeah, for real, right here. They farm the shit out of them. So, the COVID outbreak in Denmark, the COVID outbreak in mink here. By the way, two of the famous mink farmers up there both died of COVID. So, you know, my thesis is that COVID has been manifesting for a while. It just didn't show up. It just showed up in the deadly format. Now it's coming out. A professor at the University of Arizona has poured through the data, and he says that it was a female vendor at the market, at the wet market, and it was clams. Right? What Kevin Blanch has said from the beginning. It's what I've said from the beginning. From the sea, Fukushima. Now, the mink is so important, and why? Because there was a major outbreak in Canada, major outbreak here in Utah, major outbreak in Oregon in mink farms, major outbreak in Denmark. So the first, was some transit migrant workers that were putting it into the mink, jumping from worker to mink. Wait a minute. That got completely debunked by who? Kevin Blanch. I'm like, there's no migrant workers in Denmark in the mink. And they all got it simultaneously within freaking a very short period of each time. So there's no cross-hatching there. There was no contaminated people in Denmark that were migrant workers feeding the mink. Now here, the exploitation of agricultural labor here is, I mean, you want to talk human trafficking. You know who the biggest human traffickers are? Mega dairies. Freaking agriculture. They human traffic. I mean, I talked to ones out by my house, that mega dairy corrupt one, who got the presidential award here by this President White gave it to him, the old president, a person who never went to school here. Head of the DNR, who never had any college credentials. Zero. You think Utah's corrupt? You don't know corruption. So, the mink. There's only one common denominator on the mink. Fish meal. That's what they feed them. What do they feed them? Fish byproduct from the sea. And I love how nobody will even take on this thesis of Fukushima. No one will even consider it. And by the way, I stepped out of the classroom and went, "Oh, do you know that if you have a PhD in this country, post-1990, the contract on America changed everything." Now think about the contract on America, and they were all the self-righteous, the moral rights, which was Tom DeLay, Dennis Hastert. Where's he at? Whoa, whoa, whoa. They got rid of it. HIPAA laws, you can't talk about, doctors can't speak about cancer rates. I mean, in 2011, I'm the guy that coined the term. They want to kill Bert and Ernie. I coined thousands of terms. And by the way, the search engine at Google, especially Google Chrome, is a disaster. Well, it's a CIA propaganda machine. Not my words, Edward Snowjob. And Edward Snowjob knows all about Fukushima. Oh yeah, he was in Japan right before it happened. He was in the bunker in Hawaii, orchestrating the cover-up after he quit the CIA and went back to work for the CIA. He's flying to South America. Edward Snowden. I got to the very top. I had top surveillance. And by the way, my father was a special forces guy. My uncle, who just passed away, was CIA as it gets. You know, and I mean all the way to the top in the Vanguard. Broke ranks. Probably the most famous decorated fighter pilot in the country post World War II. Snowjob says he was a special, broke his leg. No, that isn't how special force. Pat Tillman was a special force guy. It's mental and physical. Ask Michael Hastings. Oh, where's he at? So, he says, well, my mom was CIA. My dad was CIA. By the way, look at Lindsay Mills. If she's a performance artist, what the fuck am I? Having my baby, what a lovely... She came right out recently and said, you know, they have a new baby in Russia. So he's going to South America. He says, I got all the way to the top clearance. When I got to the top clearance, I realized I had very top. I was the EIT anonymous guru. You know, orchestrated in the death of Aaron Swartz. Who's that? Megan Rice. Michael Hastings. I won't stop there. I got to the top, found out there was another top. Well, what's the top? CIA, KGB, Mossad, MI6, global oligarchs. Not my words, Snowjob's words. I talked to Snowjob's attorney. You know, had a long talk. I asked Greenwald right for me to hear at the university when he spoke. Where's it? Usury, usury, Utah usury. You on the Hill for usury. Utah Jazz is for usury. Take note. Take note. They gentrified this place. Look what they did to the airport. Tear out the frescoes in the airport. Tear down the old vaudeville theater. I mean, they're gentrifying this place, turning you into a bunch of drooling drones who can't even think for themselves. Orwell couldn't dream this up. I asked Greenwald, where's the chip? Where's it at? You said all this. I spoke. My question got up at the hearing in Park City, Utah. Well, you said in the little bit that did get released by Greenwald, why would he hand the chip to Glenn Greenwald, that propagandist who works for the Queen? And your new king going to be Charles any day now. He spoke at COP 26 and he was introduced. Now, why would he speak? The monarchies, they're back. I thought we got rid of monarchs. I thought we thought of Revolutionary War. You ever been to the prison ships? You know about the prison ships? Load up every man, woman, and child to go tried by the king, his great-great-grandfather, for treason, and he murdered them all out in the ocean. 11,500 in that tower in Fort Greene Park in Brooklyn. Battle of New York on Chemo, on Balco. It's pathetic. Prince Charles was introduced at COP when he spoke as the man who's saving the planet. Your Royal Highness. I'm not kidding. Our ancestors are rolling in their graves. What? Next thing you're going to tell me that Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos parked their freaking Epstein Island freaking Los Alamos yacht off the coast and they spoke. What? Bill Gates never meant anything. He stole the word perfect from here. And Utah, Governor Cox is so stupid he gets in bed with him. He's flowing to Argentina. How does he end up next to the global oligarch? It's a fraud. How come we didn't see any of that? The key, the link to this is the minks. And yes, this is not a mink dink necklace. And that's what they look. And that, yes, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. And I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. People used to make them and wear them. There's only one common denominator. Edward Snowjob knows this. He's a con man. He's a fraud. Lindsay Mills says this new baby will have dual citizenship. How is that even possible? Nobody gets dual citizenship. Having my baby, what a lovely way of Putin, the global oligarch, Tsar Putin. If you think he's a commoner from St. Petersburg, I got a bridge I want to sell you. Yeah, he's a commoner. They're back, same old thing, 1914, with their guns and their tanks and their bombs and their internet chrome. Google, Joseph Goebbels. You believe any of these lying? They got control. 3 years ago, they kettled Kevin Blanche. The internet kettled it so dramatically. The mink is the link. There's only one common denominator. The outbreak in Denmark, that's a long ways away from freaking Morgan, Utah. By the way, raising little furry animals to skin them and kill them for a living. Talk about throw some karma on you. No wonder they all died of COVID. Whoa, 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 whoa. And I know a lot of those guys. They feed them fish. Byproduct. By the way, a lot of your makeup you're putting on your face is coming from the sea. Fish byproduct. Go take some oil tablets to help your health from, from the sea. Fish byproduct, ooh, talk about deadly. Kevin Blanche said it from the beginning. She's going to come from you. Fukushima is the greatest cover-up, the greatest crime. And if you think I'm crazy, you think Albert Einstein is crazy. The peace activist, yeah, the Quaker. I like how there's a guy at INL who's quote, I'm not the next Einstein, I'm going to find the next Einstein, while he's promoting nuclearism at freaking INL National Lab, which Einstein was totally against those guys. He was anti-Von Arco. This is how they twist people's legacies. Albert Einstein was a hardcore hell of a way to boil a freaking planet, Kevin Blanche. Hell of a way to boil a freaking Pacific Ocean. Nuclear meltdowns. Oh, they're hot. It's the greatest catastrophe in human history. You kettle me, I'll kettle you. I invented fucking thousands of terms. You know, but they got me kettled. Snowjob says that the search engine for Google is a joke. Well, you think? When the CIA runs it. Net neutrality? Oh, they killed it. Trump. Well, they call this shadow banning when he's the guy that freaking did it. I mean, the puppets, the ignorant, have inherited the earth. It's unbelievable. Look at this. Let's mow the lawns. And, oh, the drought's over. Yay. Come skiing. Obey, consume, obey, consume. This is KSL, who's owned by the Mormon Church. Usury on the hill for unbelievable, right? The crux of Christianity. This was a state that wouldn't even, had usury laws. Last one clear into the mid-'80s. Maximum interest rate charge 6%. Now we have Dollar Loan Center, payday loans, which are 400% or 500% a year. I mean, it's freaking loan sharks in hairspray. It's pay the dragon slayer. It's monarchy. It's old neo-feudalism freaking masqueraded. And billionaires who pay no taxes that speak of your royal highness? Please. The mink are the link to COVID. There's only one common denominator. It's what they feed them. They feed them fish meal. Round up dead whales? Oh, yeah. From the sea. Just like I said. This guy's right, what I said. The first one was a woman on the 11th, 12/11, 2019. She was the first case. Wuhan lab, Charles Lieber. Oh, that's a big freaking part of this puzzle. On the grassy knoll. Kevin Blanche. I could have video of the grassy knoll in 1963. Not the Zerbuty tape. I could have another one because somebody could give it to me and I could put it on that was crystal clear in HD 5G. And show the entire freaking who really did it, and it would get 112 views if I was lucky. If Google wants this video to have 1,320,000 fucking views, that's what it's going to have. If it wants to have 311, that's what it's going to have. If it wants to have 12, that's what it's going to have. You know, 2 plus 2. But at least it's placed in the library. You're going to have to search it, and hopefully at some point net neutrality. Do you think it'll ever come back? Yeah, kind of like the Patriot Act was temporary, right? So go sunbathing in Utah for Thanksgiving. I bet a professor right here. When this, I says, this drought ain't over. You're out of your mind. How do you think this is going to change? This is all acute. This is acute climate change. It happened when Fukushima happened. He stands right there and does a video. Ben, I know Ben. He's a good guy. I like him. And he says, well, I've been studying the Great Salt Lake for 20 years. I grew up on the lake. I did it in real time. Now, that's what a real PhD does. A real PhD doesn't regurgitate other people's work. They, you know, the media. They sit around and watch videos, what's the matter with you, and then you do all the dirty work, and then they spin it and they profit from your freaking investigative journalists. They don't have to use investigative journalists. They just watch YouTube videos, and then they poach each other's, you know, they poach the signposts, they poach whatever. I do the work in real time. That's what a real PhD is. The mink is the link. They feed them freaking fish meal, animal byproduct from the sea. Clams, as I said it from the beginning. Did you know that contagious leukemia in shellfish is a real thing? Yes, it is a real thing. Oh yeah, and it showed up right after Fukushima. All coincidence, bro. Coincidence doesn't get it in science. A real PhD, you hypothesize the work, then you have to do field work. I've done 10 years of it in this prison cell. I've done my cancer sentence, though I committed no crime. Oh, I've done my time. I've been paroled, baby. Watch out. I use what I have, you know, and what the people that do watch these videos are the people that matter. The people that move culture, that understand the truth matters. Winston, 2 plus 2 is 3,910. Winston, 2 plus 2 is whatever we tell you. 2 plus 2 is 311. 2 plus 2 is 911. 2 plus 2 is whatever we tell you it is. No, it's not. Fuck you, Google, Joseph Grubel. 2 plus 2 is still 4, and I did the work in real time. The mink is the link. The mink is the link. COVID, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind, is a byproduct of the Fukushima disaster. Just like the heat bubble over the western United States. Just like, oh, wasting disease, just coincidence. They collapsed right after Fukushima. Just coincidence the salmon still had go down 99% on most rivers, 95% on the Columbia in 10 years. They go to sea for 1 year. Stillhead or the smoking gun, or Chinook or the smoking gun, they go to sea for 5 years. Everybody's laughing at Kevin. Record returns. I says, not wait till 2016. In 5 years, they're down 90%. They go to sea for 5 years. That's hardcore evidence. Scientists are mystified, they're baffled, they're puzzled, they're stumped, they're perplexed, they're bewildered. We've used every hyperbole known to man. That's not science. In fact, that's asymmetric science. That's criminal. Anybody who's got a PhD, who's a science professor, a high school science teacher, works for NOAA, works for the media, United States freaking senators, congressmen, who's gone along with this should get down on their freaking knees and beg Kevin Blanche and God for forgiveness. Well, beg the animals for forgiveness. It's disgusting. And they call themselves professors. They're not professors. I mean, it's a fraud. Can't you see? Aaron Swartz. It's all a fraud. He grew up on MIT. Remember, he was the self-educate guy? Then Harvard and Yale finds him and props him up, put him on a table, and then pulls the table out from underneath him. If he'd stuck to his original rhetoric, and he downloads the server at MIT in the media lab. B, when he comes here, why would he go to the MIT media lab? That's our group to track that down. This is the greatest crime in human history. As I said, standing on the banks of the mighty Blue Lady when I was walking the entire coast. Oh, I walked the whole coast of California. You're no match for her. She's going to fight back. There's no doubt in my mind that COVID is from the sea. I bet the farm. By the way, the game of the century will be played on December 18th in the Purple Palace. There'll be maybe 2 undefeated teams. Go Weber State today. Best team I think maybe they've ever had. BYU, the best team they've ever had. That's saying a lot, Fred Roberts. That's saying a lot, Mr. Lillard. God, what is that? I just found that. BYU did that on that court, up there on Lillard's court, to them Oregon Ducks. Oh, he says for Ogden, for Oakland, for Oregon. Oh, for life in the Pacific Ocean. Where's your crown? Where's your crown, all of you? You're on the winning team. Yeah, we're going to rebrand Utah. Utah Jazz, billionaire owner. Okay, okay. Ignore it. The Mink are the link. The Mink are the link. That's what a real PhD does, is what Kevin Blanch is, the last of the Mohicans. Literally. The greatest PhD in human history. Real one. I stepped out of that classroom when I taught there in the #1 school business. Don't go see the Dalai Lama. I stepped out and just came right here. How many people have seen my lectures standing there tree? The mega data guy from Google told me that your real view count, my real view count was probably north of 100 million views. You label me, I'll label you. Last, it all went downhill when Metallica played on the football field one Saturday afternoon in 1998. Yeah. And it was a rainstorm and a lightning storm, so everybody left. They thought they left. They came back. Where's your fucking crown? Split me open, pour me out. There's things inside the screaming shout. Where's your fucking crown? All you people that are gone along with this fucking monarchy, the nuclear energy emperors, they have no fucking clothes. Your Royal Highness at COP20, we all live in a green washing machine. Say it, Greta. Say it, Greta. You've got to seek Kevin Blanch out. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. They think they won? You're not stuffing my lightning or my toothpaste back in the bottle, because I flipped that bottle behind my back, Pandora's bottle, and I shattered it with a fucking bat. Right here on fucking YouTube in the library for God and everybody. Placed into the fucking library. Placed into the fucking library. The Mink are the link. There's only one common denominator. Why they all got COVID simultaneously. Fish meal. From the sea. A clam at the Wuhan market. From the sea. Huh. Now what happened right there? First time in human history? Oh, nuclear fallout into the ocean for 4,000, almost 4,000. It doesn't mutate anything. It doesn't. That's a mental illness. For every action, there is a reaction. The greatest action in human history, bringing star power to Earth. Livermore, California. Kamala Harris's mom. Oh yeah, this kick down and the shutdown of San Onofre was the domino. Kevin reached into the bag and he slung the stone. And he struck that nuclear energy giant in his head, and he fell to the earth. Oh, they're done. They just don't know they're done. So I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Oh boy, do I. I fear no evil. Stand tuned.